It may have been the headlines or the app notification on your phone that drove millions of you to WISTV.com in 2024. Our top story, a look back on Hurricane Helene's destructive path through the southeast.
No other storm has impacted across our service territory as completely and as devastating as Helene.
WIS brought you the first alert, tracking the system back in September, when it finally made landfall on September 26. Tornado watch until 9 tonight.
A flash flood warning has also been issued for some counties in the Midlands as well.
Helene went from a Category 2 storm to a Category 4 hurricane within a 12-hour span. It made landfall in Florida and hit Georgia as a tropical storm, before its destructive path devastated parts of the Carolinas.
We don't have power, we don't have water, no electricity, we don't have nothing really.
Bringing at least 10 tornadoes and more than 1 million power outages to the Palmetto State.
And I tell you, there's not a single part of this county that wasn't hit. At least 5 injuries from the storm. There's probably going to be more than that. We haven't gotten the total accounting from the emergency room here.
The storm's widespread impact will not be soon forgotten, as some communities still continue recovery efforts.
The Gamecock country, baby!
And you clicked on a lot of push alerts about the Gamecocks women's basketball team and their many wins.
Hey, Judy and my WIS crew. I just want to thank you all for always supporting our team.
The top story, head coach Dawn Staley gave the Fams a sick note to excuse them from work ahead of the team's game in the NCAA tournament.
We appreciate you sending out that note, that excuse note for our fans to come out to our game. I heard that was the most viewed of them all.
The Gamecocks went on to capture their 3rd national championship with a perfect 38-0 record.
Rick, it has been a fairy tale ending to a magical season.
Another story that sparked your interest, an associate vice president at the University of South Carolina was indicted in federal court after investigators say she did not pay more than $1 million in employment taxes to the Internal Revenue Service. The allegations from the U.S. Department of Justice relate to a company Mari Ross Alexander ran in Tennessee. Investigators say she was pocketing money from her employees' accounts that were supposed to pay for taxes. Ross Alexander resigned from USC after this, and her last day at the school was October 23rd. The case is still moving through the federal courts in Tennessee. And coming in at number 4, WIS brought you the first alert on a story of a woman who died after deputies say she drove her car into the Broad River.
Just back into our newsroom because, Nick, of some safety concerns you encountered out there on the scene.
23-year-old Tiara Hamer was fleeing from what her family members described as an abusive ex-boyfriend.
Baby would have been here, Dad, just listen. She was crying for help.
She drove into the river just a short distance from her home. Hamer had turned 23 years old just 3 days prior to her death. And finally, coming in at number 5, a deadly car crash following a domestic violence-related shooting in Richland County.
Because he didn't feel like he had any other option in the moment.
According to officers, 36-year-old Antavius Brown shot and killed himself after shooting a woman and then leading police on a chase that resulted in a crash.
Very scary. All I saw was a lot of smoke and I could smell the gas.
Officers say the woman is still recovering. One other person and his dog died in the crash. The shooter was live streaming during the police chase prior to the crash, a video that has since gone viral.
I love y'all. Y'all know I gave this all I could.
And that's a wrap on the top stories of 2024 on WISTV.com.